Hi there, a very good morning, good afternoon to all of you, depending on wherever you're hearing me. This is Simply Stocks, and I'm here with another video. And this time, this video corresponds to a very interesting agrochemical company that I feel can be a doubler in the next 2 to 3 years. That could do extremely well. The charts are showing that, and the way the numbers are coming in, the stock looks pretty good. So we'll discuss about that. Plus, we'll discuss about the market. It has been a few days since I discussed about the markets overall, so we'll discuss about that as well. So let's get started. First of all, a disclaimer that this is not a stock recommendation. People taking any position to any share that I talk about should that with their own due diligence and research. And I'm not in favor or against any company that I talk about. I'm not a member of the NSE and BSC, and that I am not a portfolio advisor. Whatever discussions with respects to market and portfolio or stocks I have is purely on the basis of my experience into the market being a retail investor over the last 10 to 12 years. So whatever decisions with respects to investment you take, kindly do take that on note is that it is laden with market risk. Before I talk about this company, here's a small request. Kindly support me on Patreon or YouTube. Once you do that, it will help me grow the channel. Help you also ask me questions, seek out answers in greater detail. Once you get that $10 membership, you'll have access to my portfolio, my watch list, and a number of podcasts on global and Indian economy, discussions on domestic markets, global markets, updated watch list that is updated monthly, and a long-term pick on a weekly basis. I bring that to Patreon members, to YouTube members on every weekend. I bring a long-term pick as well. So that could be big over the next 4 to 5 years. So everything is in there. If you become even a YouTube member, you'll get all the you can say credentials of whatever a Patreon member is getting, or you can be a yearly member on WhatsApp as well. Now, before I talk about the company here, I'll just talk about the market. So, if you look at it, this is the Nifty. So, the Nifty is around 24,420 currently trading live. And as I mentioned earlier as well, that the market could be in a range between 23,500 on the downside to 24,500 on the upper side. There is a chance that we could break out in December, early January, because normally these are the months that are probably the best in the year with respect to performance, because of the fact that many fund managers would want to get their books right and get their NAVs right with respect to mutual funds. So, in that respect, I believe that there's a chance we could go to 24, 700, 800, but eventually we'll fall again because if you look at the GDP numbers, of course, these are past numbers, but if, once you consider on the ground as to how things are panning out, we are in a situation where inflation is high and the economy is slowing down, and so uh, the government needs to push capex, push investment, and we'll see how that pans out. And once they do that, it would be a lag effect. So probably FY26 will see the effect of that if these push or if such kind of push takes place in the next 3 months. So I believe that the market could be still range bound and there won't be huge movement with respect to indices, but individual stocks will keep on doing their things. And one of that stock that I would like to talk to you about is Sumitomo Chemicals. So I believe that Sumitomo Chemicals, the way it is consolidating, the way numbers have panned out, could do extremely well over the next 3 years, could be a doubler over the next 3 years, consistent performer. Uh, it's a good chance that could be a consistent performer. So 27,000 crore market cap, a larger small cap, you could say. Uh, at a PE of 56, this might look elevated, but once I'll let you know as to how the average is panning out, this is not such so much elevated. So, what does the company do? It is one of the leading players in the industry, which has a balanced portfolio of technical as well as formulation products in the agrochemical space, and they have a number of products. product portfolio. So key products include, if you look at it, glyphosate is there. It's a herbicide. Then there is an insecticide in there. Then tuberconazole, which is a fungicide. So all kinds of, you can say, products with respect to treating agricultural crops are available. And in terms of geographical split, domestic business corresponds to 80% of their revenue. Exports is around 20% of their revenue, and the company exports its products to over 50 countries worldwide. So very good business that has been established over the last many years. Insecticides corresponds to 41%, herbicides 22%, and plant growth products around 10%. Overall, a very established large brand in the agrochemical space. And if you look at, so what I was saying about the PE, average PE for the last 5 years for the stock has been around 53, and the stock is trading at around 56 times. So it's not ultra expensive as I mentioned. And so in my opinion, if you look at the numbers, then you'll realize that not all agrochemical companies are doing well. If you look at a UPL, that's not performing up at the optimum level. If you look at Dhanuka Agritech, one quarter is good, other is down, and so on and so forth, and similar with other companies. But in terms of Sumitomo Chemicals, if you look at it in the September quarter, what they have done on a consolidated basis, sales of around 1,000 crores for the quarter was a 900 crores. So that was a jump of around 10%. But margins expanded from around 21% to 25%. And so the profitability from around 188 crores has jumped to around 245 crores. That is a jump of around 30%. 30% operating profit growth, 400 basis points expansion. Even on the bottom line, that has trickled over. And if you look at it, 143 crores of net profit has become 193 crores. So decent enough, you can say, profit growth as well in a difficult environment, a growth of around 35% on profitability. In terms of balance sheet also, if you look at it, borrowings are not that great, 2930 crores versus reserves of around 2000 crores. If you look at it, shareholding pattern, 75% is with the promoter, strong promoter holding. FIIs hold around 3.5%, which has increased from around 2.5% in June of 23. It was around 2.5%. It was around 2% in September 22. So in the last 2 years, from around 2%, the FII holding has increased to 3.5%, where we are seeing across the board selling of the FIIs. A DIA holding has remained stable at around 7%, and public shareholding is around 14.5%. So this augurs well for the company that large hands are acquiring and holding on to the stock. The stock has been consolidating in a range. So it was around 500, 530, 540 in July of 24, July of this year, and in December it is around 544. So over the last, you can say, 5 months, 6 months, it has done nothing, although the numbers have improved. So very interesting company. Valuation are reasonable. I won't say very cheap, but valuations are pretty good. So something to be really looked at. So this was my video on Sumitomo Chemicals and the markets. Please like and subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon so you can get my videos straight away when I post it, and kindly support me on Patreon. Thanks a lot for watching.